All right, this is Chapter 9 of Pacific Trails Walkthrough. We are doing tables, and I just want to start out by saying tables in web design are for data or information that has a subject and multiple data, right? Multiple information that relates together. It is not for layout. And we used to do this for layouts, but you know what? We just covered layouts in Chapter 8. So don't use tables for layouts. Let's get going. So we're going to be on page 326 of the textbook. Now, before I do anything, I would never let you guys do this in any other case. However, I am on the Web Accessibility Initiative website, w3.org. I would like you to actually use the template. Okay, this is tables with one header. There's so many other things that you can find, but here are these tutorials. You should definitely be going here and learning about this. This is a great it's a great industry, really. I mean, if you can promote yourself as a designer with accessibility in mind, you're definitely ahead of the game. Well, let's scroll down here. So this is fantastic. This has a table with headers in the header cells only. And if we go look at our Pacific Trails, that is exactly what's happening. We're doing yurt packages, and there's, let's see, 4 columns: package name, description, nights, cost per person. So that's table with header cells in the top row only. Boom. Yep. Looks a lot like this. Okay. Let's see. So this has a couple different things. This is it. Code snippet. This is amazing. Okay. This is exactly what we're going to use. And in fact, I'm going to let you copy this. I'm going to let you copy it right into your HTML. Now, our book likes to go CSS first, then HTML, and I don't know if you know how I feel about that, but I don't like it. I feel like, if I was building anything, I start with the structure, right? I do the structure, and then after I have the structure, I use my design principles to make it look better. So we're actually going to skip to task 3 because I have already copied my file, and you're going to notice I'm using a different text editor now. I'm using Visual Studio because Adam is sunsetting. I want to use the browser edition, or I want to get just Visual Studio Code. This is the whole package of Visual Studio. I'm still learning it. It doesn't have a lot of the features that I loved with Adam, but I'm just trying to go ahead and move on. So it might throw you a little bit, different colors, things like that. But let's just get into this, okay? So we are gonna take a look, and task 3. Okay, so it says add a blank line above the opening footer tag, code an opening div tag assigned to the ID named special. Okay, so I have yurts open. That's what we are doing today, and that's really all we're doing. Okay, I love, love, love how this shows you the separations. It's a lot. It's actually better than Adam in that sense. So let's collapse our head. If we collapse our wrapper, oh, that's like everything. Don't want to collapse the wrapper. So I want to body? No, no, no. Header? We could collapse header. Okay, okay. Navigation? Sure. How about this yurt hero? Yeah. Main? Probably not. We probably want something in main. We probably want our table in main, I would think. But do we need the section? No. Do we need this section? No. Do we need this section? No. Okay, so that kind of like, do I need the footer? No. So that really breaks it down. This is the very basic of our structure. I love this. So we can really see what's happening here. And this is like a browser tool as well that I will use often to try to find issues. All right, so let's move on. It says code an opening div tag assigned to the ID name special. Okay, and it's above the opening footer tag. Now, this is what's bothering me. It says above the opening footer tag. But here's the thing. Oh, that's interesting. It kind of pops out. Here's the problem. That means this is going to be outside the main content. So that might pose a problem. Let's see what's happening in main in our Pacific CSS. I want to go find main. Okay. Main. All right. Okay, so in main, okay, I have a background color. All right, wonderful. What else in main? Let's see. Find next, sure. Okay, I got list, yeah. Content main. Ooh, I have a grid. I have grid template columns. Interesting. And then I have, ooh, grid rows and grid columns. Okay, so I wonder how those are going to affect our table. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if I do exactly what it says. I code an opening divider tag. Can I do this? It's different, right? Yeah, so it's a little different. Div, right? Div. No. Okay. So I'm not sure how, do I hit enter? No. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure if there's anything that gives us the ability to like autocomplete, like whatchamacallit had. Sorry, Adam, but that's okay. All right, opening div assigned to the ID name special, which we did special. We had put that in chapter 8. Okay, and an opening tag. I'm not sure. It doesn't tell us to code a closing div tag. I'm just gonna close the div now, right? Like that makes sense to me. Okay, so it closed the divider, and then now it's telling me this next row. Put that there. Okay. On this next one, I am going to use an H3 element. Like I'm bummed I have to use my tags again. Oh, this automatically opened close. Okay, cool. So some of them will, some of them won't. Your packages. Okay. And then I have to code a paragraph element. There we go. And that one says variety of look. All right. I think I've said this before, but realistically, if we had a client, they would be giving us a copy and we'd be like copying and pasting it. They're not going to like mail us a document and we're going to have to type it all out. But, hey, it's good practice to just type stuff for sure. All right. So it says we are ready to configure the table. All right. I'm going to give myself some space. And I'm going to go back over here. I think I still have it in my... I'm going to go back over to the w3.org. I'm going to copy that and then I'm going to paste it. Okay, so of course it's going to be different, but here's the starting table. Here's the ending. This guy, obviously, I don't need that. Who knows what it is? All right, so let's figure out what they want. Okay, we're going to have 4 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so real quick, this is a row, right? And that's the header. Okay, it's always going to have a header. And then these are the rows that are for the content. So let's actually let's leave this one alone because that's unique. It has the headers. Let's take this, Control C, Control V, Control V. Okay, so we have 3 rows that are not the header. And then I'm actually going to I'm just going to put a comment real quick. It opens and closes my comments. That's cool. Row 1. And let's see. I like that the comments are green actually. Row 2. Yeah. Here. It really wants it on a separate. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Well, want it there. Guess they can do that. That's fine. Let me take this. Put it there. Okay. All right. Let's delete those. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to have a row 3. Okay. And then this ends my table. So I could tell that. But I could, do start. I could call it packages table. Okay. Now, one of the things, so with this, it's interesting. Like, I would love to not have a table in my cell phone, like at all. So, but it's interesting because I have 2 different HTMLs that I would have to do. I would have to have an HTML for a cell phone, and I have to have an HTML for the others. And that's actually a thing, like we can have different HTML pages, but that's a little advanced. So we're just going to have a table in all of them. In CSS, we have those media queries, and it's fairly simple. All right. It may be more simple than I think. I just haven't done it, to be super honest. And table. Even though we have the ending tag, anything that breaks up the color for us that have color vision, it's going to help. Okay, so they're saying to use the table th, okay, and td, we got that. Assign td elements that contain the detailed description to the class named text. Named text. Detailed descriptions, named text. Oh, that's right. So we're going to code the ones that have the description. Those are every middle one. So it's going to have a class named text. So we haven't done that yet, but we may as well put it in here. What this is doing is when we get into that CSS, we're going to see that we want the detailed description to actually have to be left aligned, but everything else we want it to be center aligned. Okay. Obviously, I still haven't changed the content here. That's fine. Okay, so let's actually change the content now. So we have we need one more. Look at that. We need one more. And that is, there we go. Okay, so that means we'll need one more column for each one. So notice, okay, so always the top column corresponds to this row. Okay, so this part of the row, column row. All right. It's always going to do that. So package name. It's like you're typing from right to left in the table rather than like down and across. Two. The reason why we don't put 2 nights is because the nights is already declared in the column. And then this is cost. Oops. All right. Let's keep going. I'm gonna copy this text. It's kind of similar each time, so I can just kind of change words around. Work smarter, not harder. I noticed they actually don't put periods. I guess that makes sense since it's just a, I don't know. I'm going to take this row, column. Let's see, this is 600. Extra period there. Every time I do this project, I think about doing supine paddleboarding. Anybody done that? I'd really like to. It's back to 2 nights. It's always weird when you're coding and you don't kind of like update as you go. So I was like, does it work? Is it good? All right. Chart and the table and the divider. Okay. I'm gonna put that here. Okay. Let's look. Okay, so I'm gonna save it, Control S. And then I'm gonna open it up. Now they don't have this, they don't have the tools, but you can go to view and then, oh, where was it? Appearance. Window. I don't remember. Okay, but I have it open in Firefox. So developer, I'm going to refresh the page and look. Okay, so far I already see that, well, it looks fine. It's a table, right? But it doesn't have my CSS. So let's take a look at that and fix it up. All right. So it has that dark blue background, and that dark blue background is not a part of, yeah, it's not a part of it's because it's outside the main, which I find interesting. So Let's see. Okay, so we're going to go back to task 2. It says you will add styles to configure the table on the Yurts page. Okay, right now I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put this over here, put this over here. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to open up my Pacific Trail, close this, and can I close all? Wonder, can you format document? Interesting. Yeah, okay. So sure if you could close, maybe you can, but let's take a look. Okay, we're gonna add it. Style rules above the media queries. Okay, where's our media queries? Here's one. And here it is. Okay. So right above, we're just gonna do this, and I'm gonna put in a table. Okay. And open up my curly braces. All right, so in that table, I am going to code a new style rule for the table element. Configures the table with 2 pixel solid borders. Okay, so border. All right, so we need border. Isn't that cool? It actually, oh, see, that is nice actually. For the CSS, it gives you an example of what it could be. Like header. Oh, interesting. So we don't have to say header. Oh, that's like a pseudo class. Interesting. We don't have to do that. We're just gonna do solid. Interesting. Solid 2 pixels. I think it's actually 2 pixels. Yeah, this is kind of confusing. It's not really, it doesn't really look like it's showing me the right thing. 2 pixels, solid. Maybe it is. And then hashtag 3399cc. And then, oh, it gives you colors you can choose. That's kind of neat that are already in the document. Wow. Fancy. Border collapse. 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 Oh, I have to use the arrow. I see. Okay. All right. Let me save this and refresh my page over here. Table borders. Maybe I have to do table border. Okay. Is it table border? Let's see. I thought it was a whole. No. No. Okay. I'm not sure why. Oh, you know why? Because it's the same color as the background. So you can't even see it. So weird. But if I were to change this to, like, let's say I changed it to white. Would it update? Let's see. Yep. Huh. You know, I opened, here it is. Okay, so I opened this HTML preview in something else. Oh, weird. Oh, there we go. Okay. I had opened it with the Visual Studio and it didn't work. Okay. Interesting. It's like I wonder if special is supposed to be have like a background. What we learned is that if we don't have the table inside the main, that this blue background will stay. So I'm just gonna let this, I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna go back. I'm gonna do the 3399 CC. Okay, and then, oops, that's interesting. 33. Oh, it's so weird. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Hashtag. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's do that. Refresh. There we go. Now there's the blue. Okay, so there was just something wrong with our preview. No cell spacing. We're gonna make sure that cell spacing isn't something special. I should remember this. All right, looking for the CSS here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have cell spacing. There we go. Border spacing configures the space between cell borders with a numeric value. If you set it to 0, omit the unit. One value configures both horizontal. Two values are used. The first does the horizontal and the second does the vertical spacing. Okay. All right, so we do need to have in border spacing. Border spacing. Let's see, border spacing. Okay, so it shows us what we could have. We could make it, or we could make it, pixels, or we could do 0. No. 0. Okay. That's what we're doing. Okay. Configure the table cells now. So now we're going to do a style rule. Okay, let's see. Doesn't really do much. Doesn't do anything that we see right now, but just fine. Okay, let's go to TD. And the TD is going to, well, first of all, configure the table cells. So we're going to do TD and TH. So when we do that, we can have both. And then we're going to have, sets the padding to 0.5 EM. To pixel border. 2 pixel solid bottom border. Oh, solid blue border. Okay. Again, hashtag 3399cc. Okay, border. And then we're going to center the TD element. So just the TD. Okay, so we can have as many times. You can make one element selector with one property value per line, you know, but obviously we do multiple properties inside. But if you're saying, okay, well, for both both types of cells, you know, TD and TH, I want all of this, but then for the TD, I want this special thing, then you would do that. Okay, so align, oops, TD, align, text align. Oh, look at that. It reminds me. I always, sometimes, often reverse them. Save this. How we doing here? Oh, here we go. It's looking like a table here. And then now we're coding a new with a text. Remember we had the class, not hashtag, dot text. And we had that. We had put that right in our code as we were coding, just so that we were ready for it. It's going to override the TD style rule and left align. So because we have it after the TD, we're able to text align left. Now, if we had it before the TD element, then it would not work because it reads from top to bottom. All right, there we go. And since we already had it coded, we can see what's happening there. So now that is left align. That makes sense. And finally, now we're going to have alternate row background colors, which is super fun. So we are going to table rows. We're going to give a pseudo class to our table rows. So a pseudo class talks about elements, right? It styles elements based on their state. So the state of the TR element is that we want to do, is the nth. Okay, nth, no, not after. Nth, nth child, where is it? Nth of type. Okay, it doesn't love that, apparently. It just wants it to be like that. It doesn't like that pseudo class, which is fine. It doesn't have to like it. We like it. Okay, so nth of type, and we're going to say, we're going to give it that configure the odd tables with a light blue background color. So background color is hashtag F5 FA FC. All right, let's see what's happening here. Nth of type, odd, odd. What do you have to do? It's nth of type pseudo class to configure the odd rows. Oh, what if I always forget what that property is? But we have to make it odd, right? Talk to myself. All right, so alt row, background color. No, it's not it. Nth. Where is it at? Okay, style a table, nth. Nth of type, an integer. Oh, the value. Oh, my bad. Okay, the value is in, okay, so that makes sense. When we have specific variables, then we have odd. Okay, let's see what that does. There we go. All right, so we're still dealing with that lack of color, and I'm pretty sure it's because they never tell us, like, oh, make the entire table have a background of, they don't tell us to do the table of the background color, So like technically the table is supposed to be inside main, but if you go back and you read what it says, um, it says back at the very beginning, or sorry, task 3, it says add a blank line above the opening footer tag. Code and opening div tag, right? So really it should have said add a blank line above the closing main tag, right? That would make more sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just change that. Let's go back to our yurts and let's see. Let's take this main, right? And I'm gonna take that and I'm actually going to put it after the special. Let's see what happens now. There we go. That's what we wanted, right? Yeah. So that was it. Now, if you have chapter 8 wrong and you try to do this, you try to put this in main, but you don't have the correct values for the grid, then you're going to have a problem. So one of the things that you could do, okay, watch, because as we go, it's all good. But this is because I'm using the instructor solution. And I think we may have messed up on one of the chapter 8s. So you want to go back and you want to make sure that in your Pacific Trails, you have the correct grid template rows and columns. I'll show you. Okay. You just gotta make sure. So if for some reason this is not working for you, go ahead and take a look at this part of the video and make sure that your values for grid row and grid column are matching. And I want to show you because inspect this element. All right, so remember what happens when we have the grid. That is so weird. It says that it's not used on this page. Really? Oh, here. It's because it was small. That makes sense. Okay, so we have display the area names. Well, extend the lines infinitely. Okay, where's the overlay? Okay, overlay grid right here. Okay, and then main. Okay, so if I make this let's see. If I make this smaller, aha, here we go. The only grid that I have at this medium is main. Okay, and I want to show it. Okay, so I have this at main. And if I don't have the right values, then it's going to mess up. If I start, let's see, I'm going to get to, okay, divider wrapper. Now I have both. And let's see, if I add this, I really see that, oh, okay, I need to make sure that I have my dividers in here. Now, the thing is we have, it's the wrapper that's making the footer work, right? So if I get rid of this, okay. But the main is how, what's happening with the table. The table is from 3 to 4 and 1 to 4. And if we take a look at our special, I think, let's see. Yeah, the special, we had a grid row of auto, which was fine. But then we had the grid column of 1 to 5. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. and this is supposed to be 5, and that's because of the stinker. This guy. If we put in both the wrapper and the main, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's actually crazy. So that's why it would start at 2 and end at 5. Very weird. I think there's other ways to do this so that you don't wind up with overlapping grids. That can get super confusing. So, yeah. I hope this helps. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments or reach out to me.